Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. You have probably heard of this game. Well, to be fair, I'm pretty late to the party, but I hope this will be a different type of video from the ones that you might have seen before. Given the chance it is completely new to you, let me tell you what this game is about. Climbing. This game is about climbing. Man in a pot with a hammer. Simple. You move your mouse to move the hammer and get over obstacles. The main goal here is to reach the top of the mountain. It sounds pretty easy, right? Eventually, you mess up, fall down, and lose a significant amount of progress.
Get nasty over there, boy.
While the narrator is constantly yapping about culture and struggle as you ascend to the top, there are truths in what he says, and the messages conveyed in it are becoming increasingly more valid during the age of TikTok and short-form content.
When everything around us is cultural trash, trash becomes the new medium, the lingua franca of the digital age. And you can build culture out of trash, but only trash culture. B games, B movies, B music, B philosophy. Maybe this is what digital culture is. A monstrous mountain of trash, the ash heap of creativity's fountain. A landfill with everything we ever thought of in it. Grand, infinite, and unsorted.
As said by Foddy, the obstacles in this game are real. You can't really cheese your way through them. You have to master the game to be able to beat it.
Most obstacles in video game worlds are fake. You can be completely confident in your ability to get through them once you have the correct method or the correct equipment or just by spending enough time. In that sense, every pixelated obstacle in Sexy Hiking is real.
The protagonist, the man in the pot, is called Diogenes. He was an ancient Greek philosopher who made great contributions to cynicism. But I'm not here to talk about Diogenes. I get it, he fits the theme of the game, but the game, the man, who has to do a seemingly ridiculous task, has always reminded me of someone else. Let me tell you a story about him. Have you ever felt like, no matter how hard you try, you are constantly being pulled back to where you started? An endless struggle with no finish line in sight. In the ancient Greek myth, one man's punishment was to experience this for eternity. His name was Sisyphus. He was a cunning king, known for deceiving even the gods. For his trickery, Zeus condemned him to an eternity of rolling a massive boulder up a hill, only to watch it roll back down each time he neared the top. The boulder slipping from his grasp and tumbling back was a constant reminder of his failure, of the futility of his task, and yet Sisyphus had no choice but to start over again and again. In Getting Over It, the mountain is your boulder. Each swing of the hammer is a fight against gravity, against frustration. Like Sisyphus, you climb and fail, over and over. Sisyphus's punishment was meant to break him, to trap him in a cycle of hopelessness. However, the myth doesn't tell us how Sisyphus felt about his eternal struggle. Was he broken, or did he find meaning in his suffering? This suffering, for me, is quite similar to real life. One thing that always bothered me was the meaning of life. Why do I have to keep doing things where the goal of reaching them is pointless? The logical consequence for this was to simply stop trying. Why climb the mountain if there's no point in reaching the top? Why live life if there's no point in living it? This is quite a nihilistic idea, that everything is meaningless and in the end we are all going to die. But the philosopher Albert Camus had different ideas. He argued that we desire meaning. He called this conflict between the desire for purpose and the lack of it the absurd. Being put in this ridiculous situation, what can we do with the absurd? Well, Camus believed that Sisyphus could be seen not as a figure of despair, but of rebellion. In his essay, The Myth of Sisyphus, Camus wrote that the true heroism of Sisyphus lies in his acceptance of his fate. According to Camus, one must imagine Sisyphus happy. In his endless struggle, Sisyphus finds freedom. Freedom from false hope. Freedom from defeat. He is fully aware of the absurdity of his task, but he embraces it. In getting over it, like Sisyphus, we push forward despite knowing we might fall. The real triumph is in the act of trying, in accepting the challenge itself. In both the myth and the game, the struggle is unavoidable. We fall, we fail, we lose progress. But as Camus suggests, perhaps there's a kind of freedom in this endless pursuit. In getting over it, the mountain might seem impossible, just as Sisyphus's boulder seemed immovable. But every swing of the hammer, every push forward, represents something more than just progress. It's the will to keep going, the decision to try, even knowing the potential for failure. So the next time you wonder why are you even doing this, whether in a game or in life, remember Sisyphus. It is about the act rather than the goal, and being happy along the way.
Have you thought about who you are in this? Are you the man in the pot, Diogenes? Are you his hand? Are you the top of his hammer? I think not. Where your hand moves, the hammer may not follow, nor the man, nor the man's hand. In this you're his will, his intent, the embodied resolve in his uphill ascent.
If you have enjoyed this video, I would like to thank you for watching.